Okay guys, in this tutorial what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cover the switch statement. So the switch statement is basically like an if statement, where this thing means if, month is equal to January, if month is equal to February, if month is equal to March. There's a couple different ways you could do a switch statement. This way is pretty good because you could see what you're checking. Here's another switch statement with strings. So switch string, case 1, case 2, so on and so forth. And you could also do a switch statement with integers. This one's wrong, so we'll discuss why. Notice some of them have breaks and others don't. This one with integers, switch month, case if it's equal to 1, if it's equal to 12, or 7, or whatever, 4, 9. You get the idea. And then there's a default case, which is like an else. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a switch statement for some values, and then we're going to do a switch statement for some strings. So let's go ahead and do that. I just set up this really simple interface. All right, I'm going to put one more button. Okay. So we're going to say JButton1 is going to deal with strings, and JButton2 will deal with integers. So they're pretty much the same thing. So let's go ahead and do it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to say int num equals this dot actually integer parseInt this dot j text field 1 dot get text. Yeah, this is all stuff we already know. Okay. So what that'll do is, it gets the number from the text field. Okay. And now we're going to do, and we want to switch num. Okay. And if we look here, well, you have to have an opening, and we have to have a closing. We have to put a break in between each one. And it's case with a colon. Okay, so we have to make sure we do all that syntax right. We're going to say case 10. And we're going to say this dot we'll say first case. Okay. It says can't find this. I think it's capital L. All right. Great. Now we're going to say case 20. So again, if we're looking here, you'll notice when you do this, I don't know what just happened. When we do this, we don't encase them. Like, it will actually keep going. This is kind of neat. Case 9 or case 11, you'll do this. I don't like coding like this, so we're not going to do that, but you can if you want. Okay. Again, this is very, very similar to an if statement. Okay. We'll do 2 more cases. We'll do case 30. Try not to copy and paste this when you're learning it, so you could actually burn it into your brain, the syntax. Otherwise, you're not going to really learn it. And if we look here at the default, you could see this. So we're going to do this. This is like the else part. Okay. And this is it. And we could go ahead and run it. So this is equivalent to an if statement. It's basically would be if case equals 10, else if case equals 20, else if case equals 30, else like that. We've made stuff like this already. Really important to put these breaks. Let's go ahead and run this to see how it works. So let's go ahead and put in a number here. This is not cooperating. Second case, perfect. How about if we put in 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8? Fourth case. So you'll notice it's doing this. Now, it works perfect. No problems here at all. It's perfect. It's exactly what we want. All right, first case, good. Now watch this. For a minute, comment out these breaks. Watch how this code will actually not work anymore. It will. You're going to get fourth case for everything. Check this out. Let's say we put in 10, right? This should say first case. But wait, it says fourth case. Why is it saying this? What happens if we don't do break? It actually falls in each case. You guys already know that in an else if, when you do one, it won't do the others. Well, that is not how a switch statement works. A switch statement, you have to explicitly put in the break to let the computer know to pop out of that. So this is really important to get. So hopefully you understand that. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and do another example with the other button. And this time we're going to do it with strings. It's pretty much the same thing. So what we're going to say is string my_str equals this dot j text field 1 okay. So now we'll say, now what do we want to switch? my_str, okay? And we're going to say case Bob. Now, a really good use of this is actually days of the week or months of the year, like if they enter Monday, if they enter Tuesday. So now we'll put, you should not copy and paste this. I'm doing this for the sake of this video, so it's not too long. Okay. Make sure you put your break in there. Actually, hold on, let's undo that. Let's undo that. Okay. All right, that was not clear, so let's actually do this. Case Mike. Okay, like this. And now we'll just put case else. Okay, default actually. So it'll do this if the other two are false. Now you'll notice I'm not putting a break here. The reason why I don't put a break on the default, well, there's nothing to break out of. There's no cases underneath it. Therefore, we don't need a default. There's one thing here you could do if you'd like. Let's say we don't want to worry about the case of the name we put in. So I could put switch myString.to lowercase. And what this will do is it changes everything in the string to lowercase. Or we could do this if you want to do this. You could do to uppercase, okay? Now if we're going to do that, we have to change all these guys to uppercase. So we have to do this. Like that, okay? Actually, not there. You have to do it here. Okay. This doesn't matter. This is just the output. So it really depends on whether you want it to upper and compare it to upper, or you want it to lower and compare it to lower. I usually use to lower. That's just what I usually do, but because it's less work. But either one is fine. So let's go ahead and test this thing out and see how it works. Okay, let's go ahead and put in Bob. See, we could do it in any case we want. Right? Let's go ahead and put Bill. We shouldn't get anything. We should get no name. Yep. And let's go ahead and put I don't know, Jeff. We should get no name again. And let's go ahead and put Mike. All right, and there you go. So that's how it works. So we have two selection structures. Well, it's actually one, but one with an integer. You could do a double up here. It doesn't really matter. And one with a string. And it's equivalent to an if statement. So for an exercise, what I'll have you guys do later is you guys will write these out in an if-else if. So this, for example, if you were doing this one, we'd have something like if, my dot equals Bob, like that. And then you put like else if like that, right? And then we'd have else if my string dot equals. So these are really useful. These are really useful for days of the week, months of the year, maybe food you picked. When you know it's only going to be like one thing or a certain number, like how many people are going and it's a set number. So that's where it's really good. These aren't great everywhere, but they definitely have their extremely useful places in programming. Okay? So again, we learned this tutorial is how to use the switch statement in Java, the importance of this break statement, what this default statement does, and the basic syntax of using a switch statement. I hope you found this tutorial helpful.